How often do you write or draw your thoughts and feelings? And don't you feel a special joy, a certain relaxation in expressing yourself? Molly Crabapple, an artist and writer from New York, whose recent works have earned her international recognition, was here at the Ghoda Festival to conduct a masterclass on art. She gave out some interesting techniques on how people who've never drawn before can illustrate effectively. The participants loved it and were pleased with the results. Later, I met her for a quick chat. What do you think is your objective and what are you trying to say through your art?
I guess I'm just trying to take the whole world and put it in a sketchbook.
Oh wow, okay. You have actually chronicled and witnessed a lot of suffering and a lot of events which have caused a lot of human suffering in the last 1 decade. How has that changed you as a person?
I mean, you can't help but have those sort of things burn into you. However, the thing that I try to do that both benefits my work and also benefits my head is I try to focus on the stories of smart people resisting. However bad their lives are, or however much oppression they face, they're still fighting back against it.
So you mean to say that it's about the triumph of the human spirit in spite of whatever's going on?
Or at least the struggle of it, yes.
What is your opinion about the whole debate on freedom of expression? Because in India it has been a really big one.
I am very American perhaps in this, but I am a free speech absolutist. I believe that no government has any business, any whatsoever, creating laws that violate our freedom of speech or that limit it. And in America, it's not so much that there are laws doing it, it's sort of self-censorship. It's a careerism that tells people, oh, if you say this, then you won't advance in life, which at its root is a sort of cowardice. But no, I don't think that there should be any limits, any whatsoever, on freedom of expression. Though, however, I want to be very clear in that freedom of expression does not mean freedom from criticism, and your freedom to say something does not mean that no one can say that you're wrong.
I also met a young award-winning poet and rapper from Australia, Omar Musa. How old were you, Omar, when you realized that you had this gift?
I don't think I ever thought of it as an internal gift. It was a gift that my father bestowed upon me because my father was a poet in Malaysia, and he always told me that if you have a piece of paper and a pen, you will never be bored. So a lot of my friends when I was growing up, they wanted video games or the newest Nikes or whatever, and I think my parents used it as a cop-out. They just said, look, here's a piece of paper and a pen, see if you could draw something, see if you could write a poem, and that will occupy you for hours, and that has served me pretty well throughout my life.
So at what point did you realize that you could actually make a profession out of it and use this hobby of yours into something larger, into something that conveys a bigger message?
I think I won the Australian Poetry Slam prize in 2008, and that allowed me to start going to a lot of writers' festivals and speaking at high schools, speaking at universities, getting the opportunity to go around the world doing residencies. And I think it was then that I realized that poetry, perhaps one of the most unlucrative professions that you could choose in the arts, was something that I could do professionally, and that was a really great feeling because I could combine the two things I love the most, which is traveling and expressing myself through words, and maybe a third one, which is eating around the world. And I've been indulging in some delicious food over here as well.
And so coming back to being in Mumbai, what are your first impressions?
I've just got a great feeling about the urgency of life here, and I've felt that all around India actually. What I've been most impressed by is the veracity and the hunger for ideas amongst young people. Australian people can oftentimes be very apathetic, and people don't like to engage necessarily with intellectual pursuits in the arts, but here all the high school students I've talked to, the university students, they have shown a real hunger and thirst for knowledge and new ideas and ways of thinking about the world, and that is always inspiring.
That's great to know, and that's a great message for the young people in India. And what do you think is the impact that a festival like the Ghoda Festival here, or any kind of literature or festival of art anywhere in the world, what is the impact that it creates according to you?
Well, I think that any society worth its salt will support its artists and will support new ideas and will support people pushing the boundaries and questioning and interrogating those societies and those cultures.
Which poets would you go to in India? Are there some favorites of yours in India?
Two of my favorite Indian poets are Jeet Tayal and Tishani Doshi. I think they are born poets. They were born with a certain set of eyes that maybe the rest of us just haven't been lucky enough to be bestowed with, even as hard as we work.
Can we do an impromptu rap here right now about being in Mumbai?
Fingers like that. Okay.
Well, I'm just trying to get into the mood because it doesn't come so naturally to me. What about Mumbai? Something on Mumbai.
Sometimes it feels like I'm going the wrong way. Every now and then, I have a long day. But I'm feeling good because I'm chilling in Bombay. Sapphires on my fingers. Every time I linger, I do it every time, burn the mic to cinders. Chilling right here and I'm looking at the camera. My name is Omar Musa and I came straight from Canberra.
Since Omar had spoken of Tishani Doshi, I wound up at an evening of poetry readings at the festival. Here are a few lines from her poem, A Fable for the 21st Century.
There is no end to our knowing. We read papers, wrap fish in yesterday's news, spread squares on the floor so puppy can pee on Putin's face. Even the mountains cannot say what killed the Sumerians all those years ago. And as such, you should know that blindness is historical, that nothing in this poem will make you thinner, richer, or smarter.
Well, maybe not materially, but such experiences do make me feel richer as a person.